Hello, I'm Professor Seth Frey, and welcome to our next OpenAI demo. OpenAI continued getting into some of the incredibly fascinating and exciting and really fun, tremendously useful, and all kinds of other adjectives, things that OpenAI can do and that you can do with very few lines of code that I'm giving you just by following these instructions. So we've already played with text completion, and chatbots. We're going to move into playing with pictures and playing with speech in the form of audio. This is DALL-E, which makes pictures. That's text to image. Vision, which is image to text. Text TTS, which stands for text to speech, and then speech to text in the other direction. We're going to use all four of these. The boilerplate's pretty slow, and so I'm just going to run a bunch of stuff while talking. Hey, if you get an error here, we're going to get an error here. You should do runtime restart session and rerun everything for this to work. So let's wait till we get that error. You can see we've got a lot of boilerplate. It runs slowly. We're just doing a lot in this demo, and this demo things take a little longer to run because they're doing stuff that's hard. That's actually still hard for the AI. I've given you also pretty complicated code because I really want to extend your reach. I really want you to do stuff that's deeply useful to you. I want you to have at your fingertips, automatic audio transcription of incredibly high quality. Oh no, an error! Who saw that coming? So now here's what you do. You get the error. This just happens. It's very annoying. I would love to design this away, but this is our life. Okay, so I'm going to go here, runtime, restart session. Yes. And I'm literally just going to run everything again. Okay, so we'll get past the error this time. You can watch it. I'm just going to wait. I'm sure I was saying something. What was I talking about? Yeah, audio transcription. So this the last notebook took the playing with text is very cheap. So a notebook focused on just chat and chat completion, text completion. Really, if you do a huge number of commands, it's hard to spend like 2 cents. This is a more expensive demo to run, which is to say it costs like 10 to 20 cents. Developing this and the other demo, which means running them lots of times and just like making lots of code, I didn't spend 50 cents. It's hard to spend money on this. It is cheap stuff. It costs money, but it's super cheap. If you can't afford 50 cents and you want to run this demo, reach out to me. I don't care where you are. I'll get you 50 cents. We can make it work. All right. I'm loading my credentials to link it to my account. Okay, and we're going to start with images. So here's what I want to do. I want to create a little chance. I want to play, and I want to play with Python. So here's what I want. I want a blank holding its ID up to a webcam to prove its identity. Now, of our blanks, we've got polar bear, giraffe, cat. We've got all kinds of stuff. I'll add, I don't know. What should we add? I think llamas are in right now. Okay. I like to be timely, up to date. I like to be in with the times. Certainly, I think pirates out of style. That's mid 20-teens. All right, and then I don't know, koi. You just add stuff, like have fun. Okay, so we're gonna run this, and this code is gonna randomly choose an animal. It'll randomly choose an adjective. So okay, concerned polar bear. Oh no, it's just so funny. I love it. Okay, fine. We're gonna have a concerned polar bear holding its ID up to a webcam. Please send me the images you get. I love these. I've been running a bunch. I keep every one. I'm just like very easily amused. So keep me in the loop here. Whatever you produce. If you want to, it's concerned. Oh man, I'm so easily. Okay. If you don't want the chance, you can just delete all this. I am commenting that out, and I'm just going to force it to be rainbow. Got to make it a string. Okay, great. So I'm now going to run it. It's going to be a koi rainbow. I have no idea what it's going to do. Let's see what it does. Let me just restore that. All right, koi rainbow. It'll take a sec. Now, an important thing is we get to, when we're with Python, we get to see under the hood. When you could put a prompt into DALL-E, whoa, wow, okay, well, you asked for it, didn't you? Okay, behind the scenes, DALL-E takes whatever you give it and actually like elaborates it. So we sent in koi rainbow, right? But what it actually sent to the algorithm, an image of a koi anthropomorphized rainbow character holding up an identification card to a webcam. This rainbow has no very vibrant colors and expresses a shy demeanor. The webcam position above a computer captures the moment while the colors of the rainbow reflected on the lens. Okay, so there's a chat stuff happening behind the scenes before we feed into the image. It wants this kind of richer description to generate images as impressive as this. Okay. All right, so that was text to image. There's the vision endpoint of the OpenAI API goes the other direction. It can interpret images. So we're going to, here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to take the image we just produced. We're plugging in, DALL-E gives us actually a URL to OpenAI's website. So I'm just taking that URL, feeding it back in, and I'm going to ask GPT Vision what was in that picture we just introduced, not knowing what the prompt was. So when I give it the URL, I'm not giving it the prompt, just the URL. We have to see what it sees. The image features a cartoonish anthropomorphic rainbow with large expressive eyes and a smiling mouth. The rainbow appears to have hands with which it is holding a black tablet on the left side that displays an ID card symbolizing some kind of identity verification. Very good. On the right, the rainbow character is seemingly using a webcam or a video camera, which could imply engaging. It's so verbose, my goodness. Below, laptop, silver gray, facing out. Okay, it just goes on and on. But yeah, so it's actually seeing stuff that we didn't ask for. Is it missing anything we did ask for? It's not mentioning, for example, the reflection of the rainbow in the glass of the webcam, which I thought was a nice touch. See there, see right there? That was in the elaborated prompt. We didn't give it that, but it gave itself that. But it didn't but the vision endpoint didn't recover that. Okay, so you can plug, if you can get an image into a URL, if you can get an image on the internet, then you can plug that into this and have it describe that. Now, what's that useful for? Well, it's certainly useful for OCR, object character recognition. So I happen to be into retro stuff. So, for example, I have a letter from 1966, Carl Sagan, little darling, at 20-something, I don't actually know, explaining why he never became an astronaut. And we also have a recently declassified memo from the NSA explaining why Furbies, the toy, are forbidden in the government, at the office of the National Security Agency. So these are photographs of letters, and we can feed them. I'm giving you URLs. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to save it. All right. We can save this too. Save it. And then we're going to upload. I'm doing it this, I could have just fed the URL in, but I want you to upload any image, you know? So I'm making you download it so you can upload it again. NSA Furbies. We're going to run a bunch of code. Boop, boop, boop. Did I do something wrong? I think I pressed the button. Yeah, I pressed the button. Boop, boop, boop. And then it's going to print out the content of that letter. Let's read it. Let's see what it does. Thinking, thinking, thinking. Thinking. There will be a lot of thinking. Actually, I kind of want to. All right. Our Furby's okay in NSA. It has come to our attention. Blah blah blah. And the key, actually, here's what I want to see is, see this redacted bit? That's actually there. If you look at the letter, we have contact the SSO for guidance. Then we have redacted, redacted, 412, redacted, and then a bunch of numbers. So let's see how it handles that, and let's see how it handles this B3 thing. SSO for guidance and a bunch of redacted stuff, then 412. All right. SSO for guidance, and then redacted, and then a bunch of, so it can handle, it's actually telling us that that redactions happen after this, which is using to say it's the end of the document. So it's able to handle like these omissions. If we do the Sagan thing, it'll be actually a lot cleaner. But still, I don't know, it's impressive. It got all that. I'm pre-running all this stuff down here because the text-to-speech takes a while. So just never mind me. Oh my goodness. Okay. Here it is. So this is the letter. Many thanks for the kind thoughts about the scientist astronaut program. This is a Python string, right? So we took pixels on an image of a photograph of a letter, and now we have them done. So you don't have to pay for Adobe Acrobat if the only thing you need it for is OCR, Object Character Recognition, which is when you extract text from images. You can just use OpenAI. I think this costs maybe this maybe costs like 1 or 2 cents right now. Cordially, Carl Sagan. Oh, I'm sorry, the answer. I'm not too old, I'm too tall. He was too tall to be an astronaut. There's an upper limit of 6 feet. He was over 6 feet. He was ineligible to be an astronaut. Poor guy. So he had to stay on Earth, look at the stars. And then he jokes about if there's ever a Mars mission, he'll get shorter somehow. All right, so that was image to text. We extracted text from the image. We did OCR, Object Character Recognition, using the vision endpoint, which is impressive because it wasn't made to extract text from letters. It was made to just interpret images, but that includes an ability to read all the text on it. You just have to prompt it properly. Now we're going to get to text-to-speech and speech-to-text. So we've played, if you've played with other lessons that I've created, then you've played with the complete works of William Shakespeare. And here we're in 2 lines. We go to a URL on Gutenberg.org, Project Gutenberg, stores out of copyright books, and post them publicly. We're going to download it. We're going to put it into a Python object. I've narrowed down this like 1,000,000+ character string representing the entire book, the entire works of William Shakespeare, as one Python string. I kind of got in there to figure out specifically which indices, which location of the string, from 960 to 970,000, gives us the beginning of Hamlet. And here it is. This is the beginning of Hamlet. Horatio, Marcellus, and Francisco all chatting it up. We're going to take that and make our own audiobook. So this is the code I kind of skipped ahead to. That is some ugly code. Look at all those lines. If you have no idea what any of that does, you don't have to. And if you're concerned by these deprecations, they happen all the time. When you run it, there will probably be more warnings, and they'll probably be different, and they'll probably occur in different code. Don't worry about it if it says warning, only if it says error. That's when you have a problem. So we did it. It was happening like a minute while I was talking. And now it's a file, and here's some code for downloading. Here's other code if you are in a different, if you're not using Google Colaboratory, if you're using another notebook service, you can download in a different way. Get the thing we downloaded. We're going to open it up.
Who is there? Horatio. Friends to this ground. Marcellus, and liegeman to the Dane, Francisco. Give you good night? Oh, farewell, honest soldier who hath relieved you. Barnardo has my place. Give you good night. Holla, Barnardo. Say.
Okay, there it is. So your own do-it-yourself audiobook. If you can get the text of a book in a text file, then you can make it into an audiobook for a small amount of money using this code. Now, again, that's text to speech. We can also go the other way of speech to text. So I dug up. First, let's just take the MP3 file we just created and turn it back into text. I like to do this. Translate text to speech to text. Then if your text looks like your input text looks like your output text, they should be identical. And if they're close to identical, then you have faith that everything went well. So we're doing this sort of sanity check, and then we'll do something interesting. We'll transcribe an interview. I'll get that code running now. Oh no, it'll take a moment. So anyway, here's the beginning. Friends of this ground, liegemen to the Dane. Here's the transcribed text, and here's the original. So they're pretty comparable. O farewell, honest soldier, who hath relieved you. Bernardo has my place, give you good night. So great work, honestly. It did a good job. We went speech to text to speech. We reconstructed what we were looking for. You know, we lose the formatting. You can kind of see it's all in one line. It's no longer, when it says Horatio, we don't know if that's someone speaking or if it's, you know, in a screenplay, like the speaker, right? So we lose a lot of that, but it works. Having sanity checked our text to speech, we can now take an interview of a person. So I found an interview with the 90s rapper, enduring rapper, Kool Keith. Let's listen to it. It's got opening music. So you know, is OpenAI robust to that music? We'll get the title. Can it skip the music? We'll find out. I get it. A lot of intro. But it'll handle all this beautifully. 98-year-old refrigerator is the title he's saying. And now we'll have the beginning of the interview.
You know what's funny? I like salsa water.
You know what's funny? I like salsa water. So we're going to save this. Right there. Okay, good. Now I'm going to close it. This is like a 6-minute interview. It's funny. You can find the YouTube video. I get a kick out of it every time. I'm very easily amused. So we're going to run this, and you get a button. Now, again, I could have linked to it, but I'm giving you a button so that you can upload any MP4, MP3, WAV. If you follow a link I give you above, it just tells you all the OK file formats. You can transcribe all kinds of stuff. Your own self, talking your own notes to yourself. Maybe lyrics to some songs. I don't really know. So we run this. It'll take a moment. We run that. It'll take a moment. We're handling like the upload, and then we're handling the transcription. This is where we talk to OpenAI. And then we print out. Once this is done, we get to print out the output. I'm excited. Okay. 98-year-old refrigerator. That's the title. You know what's funny? I like salsa water. He doesn't say salsa. He says seltzer. So this is OpenAI being trained. You could call this algorithmic bias. This is OpenAI trained mostly on American Standard English, and Kool Keith speaks Black Standard English, which so his accent essentially and his dialect of English shows up as salsa. But you know, overall, it's super robust to all of that, and these kinds of minor transcription errors are precisely the type that a human transcriber would make. So you really have at your fingertips human competitive transcription to turn all your notes, your little speech notes, or to do any other kind of task you could imagine. Grad students who do interviews, they can spend huge amounts of time and money getting interviews transcribed into text for other kinds of analysis, and that's just gone. This costs a couple cents to do. It's really amazing. It's a superpower, and that encapsulates a lot of what OpenAI gives you as superpowers. The whole point of this course is I don't want you learning Python on faith that it'll be useful one day. I want you to see at your fingertips how much you can do, how much more powerful you become, how much longer your reach is when you know these things. Because I know that if you're learning not for the grade, not for me, not for your parents or whatever, if you're learning for you, because you want to accomplish something, that's the best place to approach all of this from. And so hopefully with this sample code, with these tools, with these capabilities, text-to-speech, speech-to-text, text-to-image, image-to-text, and all the other things we've looked at, you're able to tap into things you want to do, the things you want to accomplish. And this code gives you hopefully the first 1, 2, maybe 3 steps towards that. So with that, I hope you have a lot of fun. Thank you so much.